Okay, warm welcome everyone. Thank you, Preeti, for having me here. It's such a pleasure.
It's a pleasure having
All
you,
of
Priya.
you, thank you. All of you coming here informs me that working on your money life is important for you, especially in these COVID times, which is teaching a lot about money, environment, family. Like a lot of lessons are coming in from COVID. And I'm so glad to see that okay, there's some money lesson also which has come in, and it has inspired all of you to get into action. So thank you so much everyone for showing up, joining in. Informs me that you're really committed to making your money life work. Before we go forward, a little bit about me. So I'm Priyanka Bhatia from Women on Wealth. What we do at Women on Wealth is we help women take charge of their finances. So we run online financial training and coaching programs so that women can learn how they can manage their money and grow it effectively. We've now been operational for the last 9 years, and we have helped over 4,000 women till now. They've become debt free, they've come out of living paycheck to paycheck. They today save at least 25% more than they ever saved. Many women have learned how to pick good quality stocks, good mutual funds, great investments, all of this without depending on their husband, father, broker. Some women today are recognized as the finance ministers of their house, and they are getting involved in major financial decision making in their families. So, guys, if you look at finance, it has majorly been a male domain in our families. And our intention at Women on Wealth is to make it gender free so that more and more women can take charge of their finances and they can get involved in major financial decision making in their families. A little bit about me. So, if you ever thought managing money and investing it well is for people who are from the finance background, people who have studied banking, worked in the banking field, know that I belong to none of these. I am not great at maths. I'm not great with numbers, none of that. I'm from a journalism background. I used to be a reporter with news agencies where I had a great salary, which I used to spend on branded shoes, clothes, bags, because that's what I knew best. I always wanted to create wealth and I didn't know how to do that. And I got a big shock when one of my male colleagues ended up buying a property. He was at the same position as mine, same salary as mine, and he ended up buying a property while I had not even managed to save that much money. So that's where my quest to wealth began. And I thought the first person to take guidance from is my dad. And like any well meaning man, my dad said, you don't have to worry, do traditional investments, that's enough. So he got me into PPFs, fixed deposits. I did those and I realized that the rate of return was really low. Especially in those times, I had big goals. I wanted to buy my own property in Delhi NCR, earn from my investments, ultimately build a corpus for my business. And I knew none of these goals were possible if I just continue to manage my money the way I was managing and invested the way I was investing. Something had to drastically change. And I thought, okay, one of the different actions I could take to get a different result is checking with this male colleague of mine who had bought a property. And when I checked on him, he mentioned that he invests in the stock market. So straight I went ahead, opened a opened a demat trading account, started buying and selling whatever my broker told me to do, only to realize in 2008 that I lost 90% of what I had invested. At that time, I was so sad and disgusted with what had happened that I thought wealth creation was not for me. I thought I should give up and chuck it, leave it. And that's what exactly I did. I just continued with my job. And in my job as a reporter, I was really blessed because I had to go for a lot of press conferences. I used to go. I used to meet a lot of wealth creators. A lot of them became friends. And over time, I invited 4 of them to guide me. So I invited a stock investor, a property investor, a serial entrepreneur, and a business coach. And when these guys begin to guide me, they gave me small exercises to do. I also read a lot of books on money and investing. And over time, a lot of financial clarity began to emerge in my life. Like I exactly knew how much money was coming into my life, how much money was going out, where that money was going, how much money I needed to reach my financial goals, where I needed to invest to reach my goals, how much I needed to invest there. My big success was when one of my when actually my stock investor mentor, she taught me a step-by-step methodology to pick good quality stocks. I also learned a methodology to pick good mutual funds, other investments, and I built an overall investment portfolio with my own understanding and research. And another big success was when I started by making 70,000 rupees in 120 minutes. And I kept making money like that to a point that I could buy my own property in Delhi NCR. I could earn from my investments. And ultimately, a point came in my life when my investment income, the income that I was making from the investments I had made, was a little more than what my expenses were. And at that time, I knew that I was free to take up meaningful projects in my life. So I gave up my job, and this was in late December 2010. And 2011, we started Women on Wealth. And since then, there has been no looking back. We've been covered by the BBC News twice, Zee Business News Channel, Hindustan Times, Femina Magazine twice, Entrepreneur Magazine, also Sherry Blair, who is wife of the ex-UK Prime Minister, Mr. Tony Blair. She came from London specially to visit us and offered us the India partnership for the Sherry Blair Foundation. And also she personally wrote about us in the Huffington Post. So this is pretty much who we are, who I am, and what we do. And on this note, I invite all of you to share what are those different financial goals that you have, which bring you to this session. So please start typing in the chat, guys. What are those goals, financial goals that bring you to this session? They could be, buying your own property, earning from your investments, being financially free, taking that exotic vacation with your family, or going on a trip and never have to come back, buying your own large diamond ring. So let's start reading. Okay, learn about investing, trip, vacations, retirement savings. Got that? Karen, MM, thanks for sharing. Anyone else? What are the goals that bring you to this session? Learn about investing to be able to make savings. Okay, make your savings grow, you mean, Beata? Carol, saving for your retirement. Sophia, building an alternate source of income. Got you guys. Anything else? Being financially independent, buying a property, building my own business, owning an NGO. Wow, Amelia, awesome, great. Maria, having an alternate income. Beata, trips, retirement, enjoying life. Got you guys. Now these are your financial goals. Increase my income, my savings. Rajabali, buying a home, making the best use of my savings. Got you guys. Got you. Now, if these are your goals, what are the areas? What are the different questions you've come in with today? Like, what is it? What is that one thing that you want to take away from this session today? Start writing. What is that one thing that you want to take away from this session today? Okay? I'm meanwhile reading what Ali has written. Self-employed artists, incomes are irregular, looking for other streams of income and starting a charity to give back. Interested in ethical investments, having a positive impact in the world. Got that, Ali? Really big. Okay, guys, now start typing. What is that one thing that you want to learn in the session today? Like that one thing which can actually make a big difference to your goals. Okay, what do I need to understand at the start? Can we have 2 jobs in India? How to invest the right way and where to invest? Looking for a side business? So this session would be a great help. Okay, how to grow my money smartly? It is scary to invest my money. How do I know how to select the right mutual funds and get started with my risk portfolio? How can one invest ethically? Okay, so a lot of investing questions are here. Definitely we can address them. Yeah. So investing ethically, how to invest, scary to invest. So how do I select mutual funds? How do I invest the right way? Okay, got it. So there are some investing related questions. How do I manage my money? How do I build a side business? Can I have 2 jobs? What do I understand at the very beginning? Got it, guys. Thanks for really sharing what is on your mind. Golden rules of managing a budget when incomes are irregular. Sure, Ali. Okay, guys, so let me begin then. So all of you are talking about various financial goals. And all these financial goals require that you multiply your money, you grow your savings, and you create wealth. So first of all, where you begin is you need to get that there are 3 phases to wealth building. So there are 3 phases to wealth building. The first phase is the accumulation phase, where you begin to accumulate money. The second phase is the growth phase, where you begin to grow the money that you're accumulating. And the third phase is the income phase, where you begin to derive an income from your investments. So an income from the money that you have accumulated and grown. Now, all these 3 phases, accumulation, growth phase, and income phase, they run parallelly. It's not that you will accumulate your money first and then you will grow and then you will derive an income. So that's not how it's done. All these 3 phases run in our life parallelly. So while you accumulate your money, you grow it. And while you grow that money, you derive an income from the investments that you're making. So some of you are talking about, I think Ali here is talking about how, income is irregular. So definitely, Ali, there is a need to generate alternate source of income. And that alternate source could be investments. Same way, some of you are talking about goals like building a property. Now that requires growing your money. Becoming financially independent, that requires building an investment income. Saving for retirement, which means I need to accumulate, grow my money, generate an income, and that income has to be big enough by the time I retire at 60, 65. Yeah, because all of us need to know that for every other goal, for buying your own property, for sending your kids for higher education, for taking that trip, we'll get funded, we'll get a loan. But for retirement, we will never get a loan. Like we got to generate a retirement income no matter what. And the work for generating retirement income doesn't begin at 45, 50. Begins now. Because otherwise you will be like really creating a lot of pressure on yourself by delaying. The cost of delaying is high when it comes to finances, accumulation, growth, and income. So now that, guys, I've talked about these three phases of wealth creation, let me talk about the three top ways to create wealth. What are those three top ways? You all are talking about various goals. Do you need to learn everything about investing? Because a lot of questions are coming for investing. Yeah? Like, how do I invest well? How do I learn the methodology to pick mutual funds? Yeah. It's scary to invest. All of those questions are coming. So, do you need to learn everything about investing? Not really. Let's look at what are those 20% actions that can give us 80% results. So as far as investing is concerned, there are three top ways to make money. And if you look at anybody who multiplied his or her money, they've multiplied it through these three ways. So number one, they invested in stocks. Number two, they invested in properties. Number three, they ran their own businesses. Those are just the top three ways to make money. There is no fourth way which has come in. And I've talked with so many wealth creators. I've seen my journey as well. There is no fourth way. So basically, if we want to reach these financial goals that we're talking about today, we got to focus on these three areas: stocks, properties, and businesses. That's about it. These are those 20% actions that can give us the 80% results. So now let's understand each of them. So when it comes to stocks, stocks are what? Stocks are companies which are listed in the stock market. And you can begin investing in them, especially for people who are in India and they'll be investing in Indian rupees. We can even begin by investing 500 rupees a month. So the amount to be invested in the stock market is really low. And you can begin to generate money within 3 years' time. So please note, I'm not talking about trading. I'm talking about investing for wealth creation so that you can buy your own property. You can generate a retirement fund. You can build that NGO. Can be financially free. So the amount which is required to be invested is low. You can begin to generate money, multiply it within 3 years' time. Also, the money is liquid, like you can take your money out at any point you want. So the stock market in India is open from Monday to Friday, 9:15 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And you can sell your stocks at any point in between this time, and you can have money, have liquid cash. Also, the skills required for stock investing are just three. First is being able to identify good quality stocks. Second is what is the right time to buy. And third is what is the right time to sell. So those are basically three skills that you require for stock investing. Now coming to properties. So guys, properties, especially in India, you need many lakhs to be able to buy a property here. So the investment amount needed is not low. Also, given today's times where work from home has become really prevalent and people do not have enough cash, it won't be really anytime soon that the property market will bounce back. So it will take at least 7 to 10 years for you to make money in properties if you invest today. And they're not liquid. Like you cannot liquidate your property right away. At least in India, it takes about 6 months to be able to sell a property. And the skills which are required for property investment are identifying a location, identifying the brokers, the sellers, the buyers, how to read property papers, getting into the registrar office, understanding the paperwork there, stamp duties, etc. So a lot of skills are needed for property investing. Coming to businesses, the amount needed to start a business and varies from business to business. And well, in a business, you need to keep investing for a very long period of time. It's not a one-time investment. Like you need to different stages of a business, you will keep investing. And it's not liquid. It's not that you can sell your business any point. So it's only when your business has built enough processes and systems that it's ready to be sold, and we never know when a business is ready to be sold. And you cannot make money before 5 to 7 years time. That's the time it takes to break even. And the skills list is endless for businesses. From leadership to team building, team nurturing, business planning, strategy building, marketing, sales, finance, the list is endless. So when I look at all these three, I have all these three in my portfolio: businesses, properties, stocks. When I started out 15 years ago, uh, for me, stocks was the easiest, and I started out with stock investing. And I think I really benefited by starting out with stock investing, because here I am at 35, sitting in front of you financially free. And that's what these 20% actions give you. So now coming to, okay, if these are the three top ways to invest or to make money, then how do you do that? How do you invest in them? So here is the step-by-step methodology on how to do this. The first step is to resolve to start today. So how many of you are resolving today to start? Because we just keep thinking about investing our money right, being financially free, buying that property, taking that trip, that dream trip, putting funds for our parents together and more. Just keep thinking. But today is an opportunity that you can actually resolve to start. So if you're resolving, please type in resolved. Just put in chat resolved. Got that, Ali? Thanks for sharing. Ali has resolved. Who else? Amulya. Got that. Palashi. Okay. Who else? We are many of us here. I would like to hear everybody resolving today. Liana, Sara, Marisha, Rajabali. Got that. Ranjita. Wow. Yes, we want more people saying resolving, resolve. MM. Wow. Beautiful. But that's the first step on how to start investing or getting on with this journey to your financial goals. So now that you've resolved to start, the second step is to learn what is the step-by-step methodology to pick these investments. So there is a step-by-step methodology to picking stocks, picking mutual funds, picking properties, building businesses. You got to learn what's the blueprint for them. And none of these are gamble, guys, and none of these are luck. Okay, you can be lucky once, But if you want to be lucky for the rest of your life so that you can keep achieving your goals, you need to learn the methodology to pick them. So second step is learn how to research, learn what is that step-by-step methodology to pick good investments. Third, build an attitude of an investor. So be somebody who is willing to learn at all times, who is persistent, who is disciplined, who is willing to be a team member, who's willing to work with other people, because investing is not a loner's job. Fourth, have a mentor. Find somebody who has financial education, who takes financially educated decisions. So I'm not talking about a broker here or an advisor here. I'm talking about somebody who is financially educated and takes her or his own decisions, is not dependent on a broker or somebody. So guys, here I want to give you an analogy. Like if you want to be healthy, it's you who has to diet and go out and exercise. Like nobody else can exercise for me. Like it can never be that you exercise and I become healthy. Can't be. The same way, if I want to be wealthy, if I want to create wealth, I want to reach my financial goals, I got to be in action. I got to learn the methodologies. I got to build that investor's attitude. I got to find a mentor. I got to find a community. Nobody else can do it for me. Nobody else will make money for me. Everybody will make money for themselves. Now, the fifth and the last point, which is find a community. A community of women investors. So where people are talking about investing, you are in that environment where you're talking about being financially free, generating returns, stock investing, mutual fund investing, property investing, business building. Find those environments, because we are all equal to the 5 people around us. If those 5 people are financially successful people, we'll be financially successful too. So guys, I'm repeating the steps. First, resolve to start. Second, learn the methodology to pick good investments. Third, build an attitude of an investor. Fourth, find a mentor. Fifth, find a community of women investors or financially successful people. Did all of you get these steps? Just say yes if you created value from sharing these steps, from writing these steps. Got that, Maria, Ali, that. Who else? Amulya, okay. Pieta, Liana, got that, guys. Sarah, Lisa, beautiful. I'm so glad. Do any of you have any questions? Amulya got that, gratitude. Thank you. If you have any questions with whatever I've shared till now, please put it in the chat so that I can support you guys. I can answer any questions. Any questions? Not that. So the first question has arrived. Amulya is asking, what's the difference between stocks and mutual funds? Not that. Amulya, I'll be shortly answering that. Anybody else? Any other questions? Everybody got everything that I'm saying? Okay. Where to start with picking a fund or a stock? How do you find mentors? Sure, Karen. How long I need to analyze and observe the stock market to get reliable information? How can we make intelligent investment? What is difference between risky equity insurance? Sure. So I get started on that note because we have just 14 minutes to go. So beginning first with the difference between stocks and mutual funds. So guys, stocks are companies which are listed in the stock market. So the companies which are listed in the stock market, shares of those companies are bought and sold in the stock market. And when you're investing and buying stocks, you're investing in stocks of those companies. And you're investing in the stock market. Now that's stock. Mutual funds are fund houses. Example HDFC, example ICICI, example Franklin. These are all fund houses that create a fund which invest in stocks. So this is an indirect way of investing in stocks for us. So when you buy a mutual fund, you're actually indirectly investing in stocks. You will not have the direct right to choose stocks, but you would give the money to the mutual fund houses who will invest in stocks for you. So that's how mutual funds and stocks work. Like I said, some of you are asking, for how long should I be observing the stock market? How do I pick a fund or a stock? Like I said, there is a step-by-step methodology to pick good mutual funds, good stocks. You got to learn that methodology. Like in our training programs at Women on Wealth, we have over 30 tests that we do to pick a stock. We have over 15 tests that we do to pick a mutual fund. So same way, you got to learn the methodology and then invest. It's like when we do our engineering degree, we first study engineering for 4 years and then we jump to investing. Then we jump to an engineering job, bagging a job of an engineer. The same way, when we are to invest for reaching our goals, we got to spend a few weeks, a few months studying investments, researching about them, mastering them, and then jump to investing. Because when you do not educate yourself and you just jump on hearsay, it's a mistake. It's a mistake to not be financially educated, to not invest in your own self, learn the methodology yourself. And just invest because somebody said that they're investing, a colleague said, or your husband said, or father said, broker said, and you invested. That's not how you invest. So let me today share the first step from our Women on Wealth methodology that we follow to pick good stocks. And let me share the first step in the methodology with an analogy. So guys, tell me if you were to, so imagine that there's a business person that you know. And this business person has a debt of about 1 crore rupees. And this business person doesn't has enough cash to pay off that debt, which is a loan. Okay, he's borrowed money, doesn't has enough cash to pay off that loan, also is not making enough profit in the business to pay off that loan. Now, given this financial information, keeping everything else aside, keeping every other conversation aside, just given this financial information, if he invites you to invest in his business, would you invest? Just say yes or no in the chat. Okay, Ali says no, Marisa says no. Anyone else? I'm sure all of you are listening, right? So this person doesn't have enough cash or enough profit. to pay off that debt? Amulya, no. Yeah, none of us would invest in a company like that. Then this is the first test that you can do on any company which is listed in the stock market, no matter which country you are in. You can do this test, and let me show you how to do this test in the Indian context. Preeti, can you give me the screen share?
Yes, give me a minute.
Sure. So guys, if you want to invest in the Indian stock market, how to check this information for companies which are listed in India, because once you can determine that, okay, this is a financially healthy company, then you know, okay, this is the company worth investing in or not. If you're not like really studying all this information before investing, it's like you're putting your money in a dustbin. So let me screen share and show you. So this is screener.in. This is a platform that we use to study companies listed in the stock market. So say somebody told you Tata Motors is a great company to invest in. So I just type Tata Motors and a page of Tata Motors will open up. Now, what we are doing is a debt test, DEBT test, debt test. Now, the first step in the test is to check how much are the borrowings of Tata Motors. So you'll go to balance sheet here. You look at March 2019 because March 2020 data is just getting updated. The results are showing up slowly. So March 2019 is what we'll pick for now. All these figures are in rupees crore. And here you can see borrowings. So borrowings of Tata Motors are 1,06,175 crores. So please note this down. 106,175 crores are the debt of Tata Motors. Now let's look at step number 2. Step number 2 is to look at how much cash does Tata Motors has. So we'll go to cash flow. Again, March 2019, and we'll look at net cash flow here. And net cash flow is 6,843 crores. Now tell me, is a cash of 6,843 crores enough to pay the borrowings of 1,06,175 crores? Just say yes or no, guys. Is this cash enough? No, absolutely, Ranjita, Ali, Karen, Amulya. This cash is not sufficient. Right. So the company has insufficient cash to pay off the debt. That's fine. Companies may not have ready cash to pay off the debt, but it could be that it's making enough profit in the business to pay off the debt. So let's look at profit and loss. Now, how much is the profit and loss? March 2019, you will look at net profit. And net profit of Tata Motors in March 2019 is minus 28,826 crores. What does minus mean, guys? There is a loss. Now tell me, can a company pay off its debt with losses? Can a company pay off its debt with losses? Yeah, no, right? So now Tata Motors doesn't have enough cash, nor does it has enough profit to pay off the debt. So now this company has failed the debt test. Once a company fails the debt test, guys, you would not even study it further. You would not even research it further, forget about investing in it at all. Only when a company passes the debt test do we do over 29 tests. And then if it passes all those tests on profitability, leverage, operations, and a whole lot more, then we invest our hard-earned money into it. So did you guys get the test? Get the debt test? Yeah. This is the first step in the step-by-step methodology. Got it. Karen, Amulya, thanks for acknowledging. Okay. Anybody else who completely got the test? Got that, Ali? And Ali, that's how you begin to generate an alternate source of income. So once you learn, once all of you learn, Ranjita got that. So once all of you learn what is that step-by-step methodology to pick good investments, whether stocks, mutual funds, any other investments, that's how you begin to generate. Okay? Because you know, just saving money is not enough, guys. It will not help us beat inflation and reach our goals. We got to start investing, and there are a few mistakes that I would invite all of you to avoid in your investing journey. Like one of the first mistakes to avoid is investing on hearsay. Just because a broker has said, an advisor said, a colleague is investing, and you're investing without understanding in it, that's not how you invest. The right way to investing is to follow these steps and then invest. Another mistake is to invest just because a company is a brand. Now, Tata is such a big brand, right? You could have easily, I would have said, okay, this is a great company, and you would have said, okay, let me invest. Never invest just because a company is a brand, because a fund is a brand. Never, ever. The right way is to study the financial health of a company and then invest. So being financially educated is the first step when you want to reach your financial goals. Today, when I asked you guys, okay, what is it that you would want to know? How to invest, where to invest? Yeah, this is the first step. Learning the methodology to investments. Having a personal finance blueprint in front of you, like knowing what is that step-by-step methodology to manage my money, to become debt-free, to come out of living paycheck to paycheck, to save more, to invest wisely. There is a methodology, a blueprint for all of these. And I would invite you guys to, I think one of you asked, okay, you know, where do you find a mentor? How do you find a community of women investors? Well, we are one. Women on Wealth is a community of investors, women investors. And we run online financial training programs. And we are all about financial education. We are not financial advisors. We are financial educators. We teach you what is that step-by-step methodology to pick good investments so that you can invest on your own. And it's like learning English. Once you've learned English, you use it for the rest of your life. The same way is financial education. Once you have it, you use it for the rest of your life. So I invite all of you to get in touch, check out our Facebook page, which is called Women on Wealth. You'll find a lot of videos and a lot of content. You'll also find our programs on womenonwealth.in. That's our website. And we run 4 programs. One program is the Personal Finance Blueprint, where you learn the basics of financial planning. You learn how to build an investment portfolio. What is that methodology to pick good mutual funds? What's the difference between gold bonds, gold funds, and physical gold? Which one you should pick? And how you can just invest in mutual funds on your own. So this is one program that we run. Another program is purely into stock investing, where we teach you the step-by-step methodology to pick good stocks, and you get confidence to talk about stocks, companies, and the market with people in your life. And within the program, you begin investing in stocks. And these are all 10-hour programs, and just 1 hour a week you invest and you learn over 10 weeks time online. Another program we run is called the Business Building Blueprint, where you learn how do you build a business. So from building an idea of a business to launching that business, that's where we support you. And the last program that we run is how to talk about money with your husband, because sometimes talking about money with our husband can become really, really difficult. So that's how it is. So thank you, Preeti, for sharing our Facebook page. And guys, our website is womenonwealth.in. Just typing it here. That's our website. And if you want to speak with me directly, you can WhatsApp me at 9818540023. That's my WhatsApp number. So you can connect with me and we can take it forward from here if you're interested in taking your financial education journey forward. Also on our Women on Wealth website, you will find a contact page. So you can leave your contact number there if you want our team to reach out to you. Also on our Facebook, we run my investment mastery series. So every Thursday, 5 p.m., I go live on Facebook and we talk about one investment in detail. We spend about 20-30 minutes talking about investments, one kind of investment every Thursday. And on Monday at 5 p.m., we have our women investors who go live to share their success story. So that's what happens on Monday at 5 and Thursday at 5. And Tuesday and Friday, we run Decoding the Business newspaper. That's another activity that we run on our Women on Wealth Facebook page. Over to you, Preeti. Thank you. 4:32, I think I went over by 2 minutes.
Thank you, Priyanka. I think that was wonderful. It was a great session. So much learning in 1 hour. It was a lot for me, and I hope everybody enjoyed the same. We wish to have you back, Priyanka, to help us go deep dive. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.